All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back. I've got a message today. I don't know who it's for. Maybe it's for you, but there is a definite message here today for someone. And it appears that, I follow the guidance that Source gives me. So it appears for a while, I'm just going to give you these guided messages. So we're going to draw some tarot cards to get the messages out for you. But before we do that, I just quickly want to tell you something, and then I also want to share with you what is called water magic, ancient sort of practice for positive manifestation. Now, it's going to be a little bit broken up, so if you're looking at this on YouTube, there will be timestamps, and if you're looking at a different platform, there will be a time reference for this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to speak to you about, and I feel this is really, really important. Yesterday, a friend of mine posted on one of her social media platforms that she lives in a sort of like a more sort of foresty sort of area, and she was posting that this monkey was being so cheeky. This monkey sort of came onto a porch, and I think it was like a mango that it just grabbed, and it sort of like had the audacity, so to speak, to sort of sit on the line where the white sort of duvets that she was drying, where those were drying, because it's sort of like the warmer season in South Africa at the moment. And she was like, look at this cheeky little, this cheeky little one. And somebody put a comment in there that was, it really sort of disrupted me so badly. This person was like, I absolutely hate monkeys. They're so terrible. They carry diseases and stuff like that. Now, in this person's defense, I could tell that at some point the monkeys sort of like interacted with the little kittens, and so obviously that's very personal when people or monkeys mess with our pets. But the thing is just that as human beings, we go into territories of the animals, in the monkeys in this case, and that was their home. That's always been their home, and then we come in there, and then we call the monkeys the problem, And I mean, even where my sister's house is, there was this beautiful sort of like valley sort of thing on the side, and then a lot of houses were built over there. And there used to be a lot of monkeys over there, and they were little rugrats, as monkeys are. You could like steal the neighbor's pumpkins and things like that. But, nobody even wondered what actually happened to those monkeys. And I always used to watch them with such fascination. I could watch them for hours because, they work together in a real group. And I think as human beings, we can really learn a lot from the animal kingdom because they work together in this group, and they watch each other's back. There's always somebody watching out. There's always a couple of them, looking after the young little ones, keeping them safe. And it's the same with, like, for example, I grew up in the country, and we had monkeys, but we also had a lot of baboons. And I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They can really make you angry sometimes. But as human beings, I always said there's a lot that we can learn from a pack of baboons, because when a pack of baboons, or monkeys for that matter, when they find a food supply, they go and tell everybody. They don't try to keep it for themselves and hoard it away and hide it away and say you can't have. They call everybody. They work together as a community, and everybody gets fed together. And I think as human beings, we can really learn a lot from the animal kingdom. I know this is me just raving a little bit, but as humans, we keep animals in captivation. We keep them in zoos. We have monkeys riding around on little bikes in things like the circus, and we call it entertainment, which I think from the time that I opened my eyes found highly disturbing. We keep animals in terrible captivation to eat them and farm them and stuff like that. And then we go into their homes, we go into their natural environments, and then, as that person actually said, the reason why these monkeys became a problem is because some people were feeding them. So again, it's humans being the problem, So I think instead of raging against the animal kingdom, we can really look at them and see how they can benefit us in such beautiful, beautiful ways. All right. So that's just the one thing that I've got going on at the moment. And then what I want to share with you is, some of you may know by now that I am, I create a lot of online coaching, and I decided to do a lot of public courses. And the first one that I'm going to do is a candle magic course. And candle magic is really great for transmuting energy, negative energy, but it's also really great for manifestation and for sort of divination, dowsing, which is like channeling and stuff like that. So with the candle magic, I'll also be teaching some water magic and mirror magic, because mirrors are great as gateways. And some earth magic, just really creating some positivity, some of the rules that if you're working with what is called practical magic, some of the rules, because sometimes we don't follow the rules and then we create problems for ourselves. But what I'm going to share with you very quickly is, and I've shared this on my platforms before, but just something very, very simple, is how to program water. Now, today is, oh my goodness, March the 17th. And tomorrow is the full moon, but we already have this beautiful full moon where we are. So this is water that I put out in the moonlight, so it could catch on that beautiful moon energy. And that is something that you can do to program your water with the moonlight as well. And then something that you can also do, which is really, really great, is just really, I always say taking 3 nice deep breaths just to center yourself, connecting to the earth, grounding yourself. And once you're connected to the earth, allowing the beautiful white light of the universe to flow through. Or if you prefer, you can imagine that the white light of the universe is flowing through in the crown chakra first, all the way down, opening the mind, opening the throat for expression, all the way down into the heart space, all the way down and through the soles of the feet into the earth to keep the body beautifully safe and grounded. And then, expanding light from the heart space, placing this beautiful energy of light around you, calling in your guides, calling in your guardians, calling in the highest and greatest good for yourself. And then placing your hands around the water and really speaking into the water, speaking that positive manifestation into the water. What is it that you'd like to have in your life? And then you can drink the water. Very simple way. And if you're interested in that, you can always Google or look on YouTube for water magic. And it's water, and the second word is magic, M-A-G-I-C-K, with a K at the end. All right. Let's start doing your tarot. There's a message here for some of you, and I want to see what this message is. For those of you that are interested in personal readings, life coaching, tarot, that sort of thing, regression, hypnosis, I'm going to tell you at the end of this video how to book those things with me. For now, and as I said, this is a general message, so please take it as it resonates, but there's a definite powerful message here for someone. So when you come across something that's a message for you, I'm going to ask you to put down the timestamp, the time where you are getting that message, to claim that for yourself, taking a nice deep breath into your heart space, to claim that for yourself. Okay. Maybe it's time for you to start working deeper with the energies, and if you feel called upon, you can always open yourself to maybe participating in my Mind Unlocking and Psychic Development course, very in-depth course. It is presented via a private Facebook group. The details are going to be in the description. I also have a step-by-step tarot reading course, as well as a free oracle card reading course. So the overall energy for you in this space is the Hermit. And this is a space that encourages you to maybe take some time and to maybe do some introspection, and to really take some time to almost familiarize yourself with your energy, with your surroundings. Sorry. If you've been running yourself, almost like to the bone, it might be time to really take a break, take a body break, maybe get some sleep, go outside, take a bit of a walk in nature barefoot, maybe let your feet run through some water. Maybe it's time to take like a cleansing shower, for example, where you visualize the water that's coming out of the shower head to be cleansing you, to be clearing you. Something really amazing to do with that as well. Look at my nails. My nails are a little bit black underneath because for those of you that know me, you actually know that I've got salt and pepper hair. and then a little while ago I bleached it, and then I made it white, and then I made it blue, and then it was all weird colors. So I just made it black. There's a bit of black underneath my fingers. But you know, something else that's also really amazing to do is if you put a piece of eucalyptus underneath your shower head so the water flows over the eucalyptus. It's really amazing. It smells incredible. It's a beautiful essence, that cleansing sense that you have with it. Again, with me growing up on the country, eucalyptus is probably one of my favorite scents in the whole wide world. It's so beautiful. I love the sound of a tree blowing through a eucalyptus, or the wind blowing through a eucalyptus tree. I'm pretty sure if you look on YouTube, there's some of those videos, the sound of the wind just blowing through a eucalyptus tree, that beautiful cleansing energy. Really, really amazing thing to do. The energy that would have led you up to where you are at this particular point in time, we've got the Page of Wands, we've got the Sun of Wands, which is the highest vibrational card in the tarot deck, and we've also got the Nine of Wands. Let me make some space there so the messages can come through. So just for you, energy that led you up to where we are. I feel this is a very collective message that is coming through here at the moment for many of you. But you know, I feel that for many of you, you realize that you needed to make some changes in your life. You needed to maybe change your mind around things. You maybe needed to contemplate things, think about things a little bit, sort of like reassess the path that you were on. And I feel that for many of you, you took that path. You know, you really set yourself in that line of your higher sort of vibration there with the sun energy, taking those small little steps. And I think something to remember sometimes when we take those small little steps, sometimes there's those little bits of disappointments that we have along the way, you know. And I mean, for those of you that know, I recently moved, and we have those little disappointments, like for example, my landlord said they're not going to pay my deposit back, and you know, it was a little bit of a disappointment because, you know, I was backing with that money. I wanted to buy myself a new laptop, but you know, we can either choose to really sit with that energy that is disappointing sometimes, or we can choose to move from it. And I see that for some of you, especially there with the Nine of Wands, even though you took the right decision, you put yourself on the right path, there may have been some hurtful situations that went along with that. I'm just looking outside at our other dogs. You know, there might be some pain that was inside. I feel that for some of you, even though you were on the right path and you went onto the right path, I do feel that there was sort of like almost like an ancient emotional wound that needed to be healed within you. Could be from childhood, could be some unhealed trauma, a wound that you might not have realized that was there. So for many of you, there would have been that experience where you might have gone for a moment, oh my goodness, did I take the right decision? Was this what I was supposed to do? These dogs are so funny. Was this what I was supposed to do? But you know, I feel that it was definitely the right thing for you to have done. Now, where you currently are, you've got the Death card, you've got the Tower, and you've got the Four of Pentacles. So this is definitely a message for some of you. This is a definite message here for some of you that, so first of all, you made some decisions, you needed to contemplate. I can see that for many of you, you thought things through. You did place yourself on that path of like your highest vibration and things like that, which was really, really, really amazing. Sorry for keep on being so distracted. It's just the doggies are so cute. And you know, there was that inner healing part that needed to be healed, and now is the time for you to let go of disappointment. It's time for you to let go of things that are not working out. I remember yesterday, I did a reading for all the different zodiac signs. If you didn't see that, you might want to check that out. It was for full moon in Virgo, and there was a lot about letting go, you know. So it might be time for some of you to let the relationship go, or the hope that the relationship could work out. Even the career, maybe you set on a certain way, and this is the plan that you had, and you were very set to that plan, and you were very committed to that plan. But I feel for many of you, there's so much more that's available. So, you know, I'm not saying that you can't be committed to a plan. I'm not saying that you can't have a set idea. But the message that's coming through for you here with the collective consciousness that I'm channeling that call themselves Smile is that a lot of the past, a lot of the pain of the past, it was sort of like the compost for your garden that needed to be there, so that now that you can beautifully flower, you know. So instead of looking at the past with a lot of regret, it's time to really see that a lot of that was preparation for you to be able to go into that next level, be it with love, be it with finances, be it with confidence. You know, obviously whenever you see this message is the right time for you, but especially with this full moon in Virgo period where we are at the moment, and simultaneously we're about to go into the zodiac or astrological sort of new year with the Aries energy. It is a time for leaving behind, you know, because we are still a little bit in that Pisces energy, obviously because it's still Pisces season, which is very much the death and rebirth energy. But there with the Tower, it's you know, if there's a little bit of a warning here, I have to tell you that if you don't sort of almost have the willingness to release you know, certain things, fighting certain battles, you might have the experience where Source steps in quite strongly, not because Source is trying to mess up your life, but remember that life is a set of consequences, basically based on what you decide to do now. That determines how your future goes forward. So remember that in the recent past, for some of you, you decided it's time for a new path. You decided you know, to set yourself up for that highest good, whatever that may mean for you. And sometimes that goes along with pain, because sometimes that goes along with also seeing things for what they are and seeing people for who they are, and realizing that even though we might you know, want certain people and situations and circumstances, you know, especially people, I feel very much people, you're very closest in people, you might want certain people to go with you. They might just not be ready, or they might not be willing or able to take that path with you. And the thing is, when we sometimes hold ourselves back, you know, almost in consideration of others, waiting for them to be ready, hoping for them to be ready, or almost also, and this is something that some of you want to be careful of, almost fooling yourself, believing that, you know, I must just give them a little bit more time. Then what we can easily do is start to create a situation where we create pain for ourselves as well as for the other person, because then you have to dim yourself down, and they have to, for some reason, I'm encouraged to send you a heart, so I am right in my heart space, but then also they have to then almost try to keep on reaching that level that they are not ready to reach yet. Very good guidance here for you in your current space, what's available for you, because you have been calling so strongly for your highest good, for your greatest good, beautiful soul of infinite potential, that there's balance available here for you with the Four of Pentacles. Balance in money, balance in opportunities, balance in careers, balance in confidence, where you might have been sabotaging yourself. I feel a beautiful evening out of energies there for you. Now, what is prospectively coming towards you? But just before we do that, again, I can see why you are encouraged with that Hermit energy over there, because, you know, the universe is actually asking you to give yourself time, because, you know, there's DNA upgrades that are taking place for you at the moment. There's light coding, sort of like activation taking place for you. Your chakras are aligning. Your aura is sort of like aligning, you know, sort of like aligning with the protection that you need. That energy upgrades, basically, there's a definite move here from the 3D to 5D. Many of you are already in 5D and you're trying to go to 5D, and because you're already there, it's more a space of allowing as opposed to, you know, trying to create. With energy going forward, prospectively coming your way, and now I can't stop looking at these nails of mine that are all black with hair color. Five of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Don't fight the process going forward. For some of you going forward, there might be a little bit of a period where you might experience where things are not moving as fast as you envisioned or hoped. There might be a little bit of delay, but I see that it's almost like whilst you might still be focusing on delays, there's big breakthroughs that is coming through here for you. Breakthroughs in finances, breakthroughs in opportunities. You know, something that I like so much, something that Joel Austin said once, I'm pretty sure other people said it as well, but I heard him say it and it really hit home for me, is that when we ask God, and whatever you call God, I call it source of all, basically the source that can't really be named. But as Joel Austin obviously said, that a lot of times we ask God for blessings and we think it's going to take long, but the thing to remember is that just one person needs to mention you to the right person, or just one person needs to come across you the right sort of person. And for many of you, there's that breakthrough. So be very careful of inner conflict there with the Five of Wands. Okay, let's clarify this beautiful reading for you, because this is absolutely, absolutely amazing what is going on over here. So we're going to look at that Hermit energy first. And for that Hermit energy, we've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got the Four of Wands. So again, balance. Looking at the mindset, be open to the idea that fast changes can come through for you. Also, this is letting you know that everything that comes into your life that's perfect and beautiful doesn't always have to be something that you worked hard for and that you suffered for and that you invested for. Because when you are set to the idea that wonderful things and your heart's desires can only come to you when you've really, really suffered and you've really, really sort of broken your back, then that is the only sort of thing that you open yourself to, and then the beauty of life that's available to you can't just radiate through, even though it's available for you. Okay, so be very mindful of being set to the idea that things have to be challenging and things have to be difficult. There's already some cards that came and they landed here for you on the potential outcome, so I'm going to leave them there. I'm just going to draw 3 cards there for the past and how it's affecting you. So there with the Page of Swords, we've got the Six of Swords there in the recent past. So again, I see that for some of you, you realize that it was time to let certain people go. It was time to let certain ideas go. Some of you may have had certain dreams, certain hopes, certain ways that you would have wanted things to work out, but then for your own highest good, you had to let it go, and there's no need to feel guilty about that. The Sun energy is clarified there by the Ten of Cups. So yeah, I feel that for many of you, you got that clarity about what is home space for you, what is really that beauty in life for you that you seek and that you want and that you need. And then let's see, what is the other card that we had over there? Nine of Wands. It came with the Page of Wands. Yeah, some of you, and this is what's painful, but for some of you, you were holding on to certain ideas, you were holding on to certain emotions, and again, I want to reiterate that it doesn't mean that if we wanted certain people to walk the path of life with us, if they couldn't, or they weren't able to, or they weren't willing to, it doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they are on a different, sort of almost point on the path, different point on the map than when you are. Because remember, even if somebody is a love interest, or like romance, or maybe just a close friend, a sibling, a child, a parent, a niece, a nephew, a cousin, an uncle, aunt, all those sort of things, those really close relations, even an animal that maybe you had to move and some other animal didn't want to come with you. Let's remember that we are all here incarnated on this planet for various different reasons, and some people come into our lives to walk the path with us all the way through, and some only come through for a season. Okay, all right, so we're going to grab you 3 cards there for the Death card energy in your current space, and look how amazing that is. You've got the Sun energy, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. So again, this is letting you know that there is incredible beauty that is available for your beautiful soul where you are at this particular point in time. It's letting you know that a lot of the work, a lot of the efforts that you've put in is paying off. People are noticing the efforts that you put off, and things are definitely changing for you here. It's changing in opportunities, it's changing with finances, it's changing. There's a big change that's taking place here for you. And again, many of you looking at this, you are not looking at this by coincidence. You are in 5D, and you may not have realized that you're in 5D already in that New World energy. If you don't know about 5D, I haven't really made any videos about that yet, but do look it up online. 5D energy, 3D to 5D. Let's grab a card here for the Star Way energy, Nine of Cups. Dreams are about to come true for you. Remember when you get to the place, the timestamp, the place in the video that really hits home for you, that resonates for you, that you claim for yourself, place your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath, claim it for yourself, and comment with the time, comment with the time to say to the universe, yes, I claimed it for myself. And maybe that's already happened, you might want to go back a little, or you can just put the time you down where you are right now. We're going to grab you 2 cards for this 4 of Pentacles, because some wishes and dreams are coming true here for some of you. 7 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. Again, you want to let go of the idea that change has to be difficult, that change has to be challenging. Let's see what is prospectively heading your way, but we're first going to draw 1 more card for that energy that's potential, that's your overall energy. Oh my goodness, look at this. You've got Aquarius energy, the star. This is you aligning with the purpose that you came to this planet for. So for some of you, you may have felt out of sorts with your life for quite a period of time. And a lot of that was preparation for you to be where you are at the moment. I feel that some of you were a little bit stubborn though when it came to energy. You didn't want to, sort of like try something different. You were really set on this is how it must be. But I feel that you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn now. Life sort of humbled some of you a little bit, but more in the sense of making you see that you were, sort of like giving your energy in certain ways that it wasn't serving your best interest. Is my little Bruno waking up? Bruno's a little Jack Russell. He's in yesterday's video. I think he's sleeping. Because sometimes for those of you that might not know it, Jack Russells are incredibly energetic dogs, but they're also very emotional. They make some of the most beautiful companions, but sometimes when they move to they're very similar to cats in many ways. And if you may be moving from a cat to a dog, a Jack Russell might be quite a good option for you, because they've got many cat-like sort of tendencies. They can jump very high. They can kind of like climb up things almost like cats. They've got a lot of the pros that are sort of like cons when it comes to cats, but make no mistake, Jack Russells come with their own sort of cons as well. But just to let you know, if you do get one and they're not all that energized in a new environment, they do find new environments, same as cats. And now I miss my beautiful little Leo, which is actually my best friend's cat's my ginger baby in Cape Town. But they do find new environments very overwhelming. So if you do move with them, always try to get a little space that's familiar for them with their toy, or they also like to bite your shoes because they like the scent of your, what smelly to us is actually beautiful to them. So maybe get them like an old sock, or if you're going to move, get them like an old pair of bathroom slippers or something like that. Let's look at this 4 of Pentacles for the energy that's prospectively heading your way. Yep, Death card, Death in the Rebirth. There is a definite, for some of you, you have been challenging, you found it challenging to make ends meet. It was very hard for you to make ends meet, maybe with finances, getting money together, maybe becoming quite despondent because you made just enough money to sort of pay what you needed to pay to meet your financial sort of like needs, but you didn't have something extra for that sort of like chocolate, or in my case that tarot card, or that oracle deck, or maybe like a crystal or something like that, or beautiful essence or essential oil or something. Let's look at the Queen of Pentacles. We're going to draw 2 cards from that, one from the top and one from the bottom for the energies potentially coming your way. We've got the 8 of Wands and the King of Wands. Sorry. So this is really amazing. I'm getting super excited about this, because for many of you, you are getting that inner peace that you might be seeking. And I feel that for many of you, you are getting the inner peace in a familiar space. So maybe a place where you lived before, a place where you've been before, and you said, okay, this wasn't for me. And so this could even be a rekindling of a relationship. I feel that especially for Aries and Gemini, for some reason, even for Taurus and Leo, but it could be for a different sign, because remember, you've got all signs in the scripture. Like sometimes we just look at our one zodiac energy, but remember, you've got a whole chart. That's what I'm meaning to say. And there's a link for a free natal chart down below in your description as well. Do have a look at that. But for some of you, the love that you're seeking is coming, the peace that you're seeking is coming, the prosperity that you're seeking is coming. And now let's look at these two cards. They presented themselves for the Five of Wands, for what's coming your way. There's the Magician and the Ten of Pentacles. This is dreams coming true, but for so many of you, this is you really getting to that point where you are learning how to create the life that you want for yourself, how to manifest it yourself. So it's a powerful creator energy. Really, really amazing, really incredible reading. So for those of you that are, look at what's at the bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands, you know, and that is where that heart is healed. I want to see how the Four of Wands is presented in this deck, because this is really so incredible. This is the Radiant Tarot. Pathway to Creativity. It's such an amazing deck of cards. The artwork is just amazing. I just want to see how that Four of Swords, because I forgot now how it is presented in this deck. There we go. Four of Swords. It's that strength from all different directions, north, west, south, east. You know, where you realize that whether you're a water sign, an earth sign, a fire sign, you know, what is the other one? You know, and I'm getting confused, earth, water, air, fire, whatever you are, you know, you're getting into where you're pulling all those energies together, and then you're the channel for source to come through into your life. So, as I said, I don't believe there's coincidences in this life. I believe that you were meant to see this message today. Claim it for yourself in your heart. Maybe look at it more than once just to see again, because sometimes we miss messages initially. But from my heart, I speak the highest good over your life, and so it is. Namaste. So for those of you that might be interested in having a personal reading with me, the way that I do it, I pre-record a reading for you, and then I send you the reading, which again is amazing, as I just mentioned, because sometimes we don't get everything straight away. You know, the brain only gets what it's ready for. So what will sometimes happen is we look at something and then, you know, we say, okay, that's really incredible. And we look at something again a day or two later, we're like, oh my goodness, I didn't actually see that. So that is why sending you a video was really, really so great. I sent you a downloadable video. You've got a whole 7 days to download it for your personal reading. And my personal readings, I don't really like to set a time on them. They're usually about anything from an hour, hour and a half, up to 2 hours sometimes. All the messages that Source gives to you, I'm going to give through to you. I'll do for you a general message, so just a general reading for all the messages that Source want to communicate to you. And then you can also ask me up to 5 questions for things that you might be concerned about in your life, that you maybe want some clarity about. And what I would recommend is when you ask questions, try not to ask sort of very open-ended yes-no questions. You know, say, because sometimes, let's say there's a romantic connection, and you want to ask, you know, is Ben the right person for you? Know, is Mary the person that I should be? Is this person sort of cheating on me? That sort of thing. It's very open-ended. But when you open yourself and you say, okay, so this is a situation that I have, and you can send me details in an email. This is a situation that I have, and I'd like to have some guidance around it. I'd like to have some clarity around it. You open yourself to more messages to come through for you, and then those are normally sent to you within 3 to 5 working days. But all the details are down below in the description, how you can go ahead and make payment, you know, and then you send me through the proof of payment. And also, I'm still waiting on the full installation at this particular point in time, in the full installation for my Wi-Fi's, and also with some power cuts that are taking place. So for regression hypnosis sessions, we can book them, we can look at them, but I want to see what's the situation happening with the electricity at the moment. But we can set a time together, or if you happen to be in what is called the Garden Route vicinity of the Western Cape in South Africa. I'm currently in George. I can come to your home. I can do the, you know, the regression session in the beautiful space of your home. We create a beautiful sanctuary space for you. But if you've got any questions around it, you're more than welcome to contact me. But for right now, from my heart, namaste, love and light. I am going to go work on a beautiful practical magic, candle magic, mirror magic course that is going to be out for you really, really soon. I wish you all the best. Bye.